Well, I know how much you guys like mother in law dramas, and I'm going to tell you right now. I have one for the ages. It has 3 updates, and this mother in law is off her rocker. In fact, OP has to move 4 states away, change their last name, and it's not enough because the mother in law finds them, and guess what? Yeah, her son, aka baby mama's boy. He wants to separate. He says it would be for the better if he just moves back with his mom so she doesn't watch them anymore. And guys, I'm not making this up, but that's just the first post. You won't believe what happens when OP gets pregnant. It's like early in the morning, and I'm staring at these divorce papers that I never thought I'd see. My coffee's gone cold, but I can't bring myself to reheat it because that's always Marcus's thing. He noticed my abandoned mugs and quietly warmed them up without saying a word. Gosh, I miss that version of him. The one who existed before his mother finally won. I guess I should start from the get-go, honestly. I don't even know where to begin. Was it when we met 17 years ago at the dive bar near campus, when his mom's mask finally slipped at our wedding, or was it 3 weeks ago when I found him sobbing in our empty nursery, holding a letter from his parents that broke something fundamental in him? This is a throwaway, because Marcus still needs my main. Not that it matters anymore, and by the way, Marcus is not his real name. Okay, so how we started, or when I still believed in forever. We met in 2007. I was 22. I was fresh out of college, working my first real job at a marketing firm. He was the IT guy who fixed my computer when I accidentally deleted half of our client database. Yeah, I was that person. Instead of making me feel stupid, he just smiled and said, "Happens more than you think," while recovering everything. I asked him out for a thank you coffee, and he said yes. That coffee turned into dinner. Dinner turned into watching The Office at his apartment until 3 in the morning. Within a month, I was keeping a toothbrush at his place, and you could say within 6 months he was introducing me to his parents. I should have seen the signs, though. But when you're young and in love and your boyfriend's mom makes your favorite dessert just because Marcy mentions you liked it, you think that you've hit the jackpot. See, my own parents passed away in a tragic accident when I was 19. Diana, his mom, Diana, devil Diana, seemed like everything I've been missing. Warm, interested in my life, and always checking in. "You're so lucky," I told Marcus one night after one lovely dinner at his parents'. I said, "Your mom is incredible." He got this weird look on his face just for a second, then he smiled and said, "Yeah, she really likes you." I thought that hesitation was typical guy stuff, not wanting to see them too much of a mama's boy. Oh, I was naive. So let's go ahead and talk about the golden years, or the calm before the storm. For years, everything seemed perfect. We moved in together in 2009, got engaged in 2012, and married in 2014. Diana helped plan the wedding, you could say, and she was helpful, seemed genuinely excited. She even cried during the father-daughter dance when Marcus's dad, Robert, danced with me since my own father, he can't. We built a life, got promotions, and bought a house in the burbs with a big backyard because we both wanted children. Adopted a neurotic rescue dog named Pilot, who actually ate our remote control 3 times in the first week. He had game nights with friends where Marcus would get stupidly competitive over Settlers of Catan. Normal couple stuff. His parents were around. Sunday dinners once a month, holidays. Diana would sometimes call me just to chat about recipes or ask my opinion on paint colors for her kitchen renovation. I thought we were close. I thought that she loved me. Here's the thing about emotional manipulation. It starts so small you don't even notice. A comment here, a concern there. "Oh, honey, are you sure you want to keep working such long hours? Marcus mentioned you've been stressed. I found this article about how career women sometimes struggle with fertility. Just thought you should see it. You're not like those wives who make their hubby do housework, are ya?" I laughed it off. I made excuses. She's from a different generation. She's meaning well. She just is worried about us. Marcus started getting quieter after family dinners. Started suggesting that we skip some, and I thought that he was just being antisocial. He's always been more of an introvert. I'd convinced him to go, "Come on, babe, she's your mom. We should cherish this time." I want to get back and shake that version of myself, and here is where the mask slipped. Or our wedding day apparently ruined her life. Yeah, let me explain. So, the first real crack. It appeared the day after our wedding when we were supposed to leave for our honeymoon to Costa Rica. It was that evening, and Diana called Marcus at 7 a.m. sobbing. I could hear her through the phone. "You humiliated me. The way you ignored me during the reception, barely acknowledged everything I've done for you. That speech where you thanked everybody but me. I've never been so disrespected in my life." Marcus's face went white. He said, "Mom, I thanked both you and Dad in my speech twice." "Oh, yeah, a generic thank you like I'm some distant relative after everything. Marcus, everything?" He spent 2 hours on the phone with her, 2 long hours on the morning after our wedding. I sat there in my pajamas, our suitcase packed by the door, watching my new hubby crumble as his mother listed every single way that he failed her. Not us, her. We finally hung up, and he looked at me with hollow eyes and said, "Maybe we should postpone the trip by a day just to smooth things over." Well, I said no. The first time I'd ever really pushed back against his parents. We went to our honeymoon, but he called every single day from Costa Rica. He cost us a fortune in phone calls. Edit. To those asking why I didn't see this as a massive red flag, you're right, I should have. But then you love someone and they're hurting and you want to fix it, and I thought if I just loved him enough, it would, well, if we just weathered the storm, it would get better. Spoiler alert, it didn't. Guys, what's up? Mr. Reddito here. That was the first post. Don't worry. This story has multiple posts, and if you think the mother-in-law's a nightmare, well, we've seen mother-in-laws like this before on the channel, but oh man, she's going to get so much worse. The title of the next post, which came out just a few weeks later, is called The Descent, Death by 1,000 Cuts. Let's jump into it, and if you're new to the channel, welcome. Hit that subscribe button for daily videos, and here's the first update. After the wedding, the gloves came off. But here's the mind mess. Only behind closed doors, because in public, Diana was still the loving mother-in-law. Still brought dessert, still smiled for photos, and still posted on Facebook about her wonderful son and daughter-in-law. But the private reality was different. See, the work trip incidents, don't even get me started with this. Every time I traveled for work, which was maybe once a quarter, Diana would have a crisis, mysterious illness that required Marcus to come over. Emotional breakdowns about how abandoned she felt, and every single time she would plant these seeds like, "I just worry about you, sweetheart." These modern marriages where wives are gone all the time, that's so hard on the men. Janet's daughter traveled for work too, and well, you know how that ended. Divorce. Marcus started asking me to cut back on my travel. Oh, just until mother calms down. But she never calms down, Marcus. So, the grandchild campaign. Are you guys ready for this one? This deserves its own novel. Should be its own post, but here I am. Diana became obsessed with us having kids. But here's the real deal. We were trying. We've been trying for 2 long years, and I had 2 miscarriages that we had not told anyone about because we were still processing. Meanwhile, Diana said, "I'll be dead before I have a grandbaby. All my friends are grandmothers already." Maybe if you weren't so focused on your career, have you considered that God might be telling you something about your priorities? Well, the last one was at Thanksgiving, with the whole family there while I was actively bleeding from miscarriages number 2. Marcus just sat there and said nothing. And then the adoption saga started. After the miscarriages, we started looking into adoption. I mean, we were really excited about it. Hopeful again until we told his parents. Oh, Diana's response said, "But it wouldn't really be your blood. I mean, not really. How could you love something that doesn't have your DNA? This is just your way of avoiding giving me a real grandbaby, isn't it? I'm not even going to talk to it." Robert backed her up and he said, "Seemed like a waste of money when you could keep trying from naturally. Unless Marcy has issues she's not telling us about," and they were looking right at me. They called our adoption coordinated. I don't know what they said, but hey, suddenly we were flagged for family concerns, unable to get adoptions, and had to do extra counseling to prove that we had a support system. The coordinator gently suggested we resolve family dynamics before we continue, and we put the adoption on hold. I've never forgiven them for that, or myself for not fighting harder. Edit number 2. Just realized I wrote Marcy instead of my name. That's what Diana calls me, not my actual name. Always Marcy like I'm some child. My full name is Marcella. Anyways, the miracle is what I'm going to tell you about now, and the nightmare of how they could not even let me almost die in peace. You're right, this is an extra saga, but it's pretty crazy. By some miracle, I got pregnant again in 2019. We're going back. We didn't tell anyone until I was showing. Diana was furious about being excluded from the journey, and she sent email after email about how I was poisoning her grandbaby against her already before it's even out of my womb. How my negative energy was probably why I miscarried before. How if I just submitted to God's plan for women, aka quit my job, everything would be hanky-dory. Marcus started therapy around this time, started seeing his childhood differently, and started using words like enmeshment and emotional drama, started standing up to her a little. Diana escalated. The emails, they got worse. She would detail every sacrifice she made for Marcus, every dream that she's given up, how he owed her, and how I'd stolen her. How I'd ruined their family by taking away their baby boy. Then came the birth. It was an emergency C-section. Hemorrhaging, touch and go for a while. I remember thinking I was not going to make it. I told Marcus to take care of our baby, our little daughter, to make sure she knew that I loved her, and the medical team, well, they saved me. But it was obviously close, and it was a lot of blood I needed. When Marcus called his parents to tell them about the birth, while I was still in recovery, mind you, Diana's first words were, "Why didn't you call us immediately? We've been waiting by the phone. This is so disrespectful, Marcus. We should have been the first to know. I'm your mother." They didn't ask me, is Marcy okay? Not congratulations. Not even asking about the baby's well-being. Just rage that they were not the center of attention while I was literally fighting for my life down the hallway. Marcus hung up on her. First time ever, by the way. Decided right then to go no contact. And then the escalation started, or when narcissists lose control. And here's what nobody tells you about going no contact with toxic parents. They don't just accept it and move on, they escalate. They test every boundary and they try to break you. So Diana and Robert, are you ready for this? They showed up at our house when Marcus was at work. They were banging on the door while I was home alone with a newborn. They sent letters to his workplace. They created fake social media accounts to stalk us, contacted my employer claiming I was mentally unstable, and tried to pick up our daughter from daycare. Thank God for password protection pickup. Even threatened grandparents' right lawsuit. Sent packages to our house with no return address, which we didn't open, and had flying monkeys reach out constantly with guilt trips. But you want to know the worst part about it. The emails to Marcus, it was constant relentlessly, "I'm dying. I have cancer." She didn't. "Your father had a heart attack." He didn't. "I wish you were never born. You'll regret this when I'm gone. Your daughter will grow up to hate you like you hate me." Well, we moved. Didn't tell them where. We changed our numbers, new email addresses, and I thought we were free. Edit. I know some of you are thinking, why didn't you just call the police? Oh, we did. Multiple times. You know what they said? This is a civil matter. It involves family. She's just a concerned grandmother, and she's, you should try to work it out. The system does not protect you from this kind of abuse. But the final straw, and the main reason I'm even posting this second post, or how a letter broke everything, I should say, 3 weeks ago. Marcus came home from work early, and I found him in the nursery. Our daughter is now 4 years of age. It's not really a nursery anymore, but we still call it that. He was holding a letter. Hand-delivered to his office. It was his mother's handwriting, clear as day. We live in a different city now. His office address is not public, and we've been very careful to cover it. The letter itself wasn't even that bad, by Diana's standards. Just her usual manipulation because she's sick. She misses him, she forgives him for his cruelty, and she's praying for his soul. But the fact that she found him, that she could still reach us, that we'll never truly be free, it was something, and Marcus, he broke. She won. She won. She always wins. She'll never stop. And I'm so tired, baby. I'm so tired of running, of looking over my shoulder, of wondering when she'll show up. I can't do this anymore. Well, I tried to comfort him. I suggested we move again, change jobs, and leave the country if we had to. And then what? She found us here. She'll find us there. She'll die before she lets me go. And maybe it would be easier if I just went back alone. Let her have what she wants. You and Emma could be free. Start over. Find someone whose family doesn't come with a stalker attached. I thought he was just spiraling out of control, saying things that we couldn't take back. How dare he suggest abandon us? How dare he let her win? How dare he even think about leaving our daughter? And he moved out that night. He did it. He stayed with a friend for a bit and started talking about how maybe we did rush into marriage, Maybe we were far too young, and maybe his mother was right about us being incompatible. 17 years, and suddenly we're incompatible? Guys, we've been together for 17 years. Well, I don't even know how to end this post, but I guess I'll ask for help. I don't know. What would you do if you find out your mama's boy husband didn't really care about you after 17 years and doesn't care about his baby girl either, who's about to start kindergarten? I am a mess. Update number 2, where we are now, the aftermath. And just when you think it couldn't get any crazier. So divorce papers were filed last week. Irreconcilable differences. Not my mother is a psychotic stalker who destroyed my ability to have a normal relationship. Just irreconcilable differences. He's staying with friends, seeing Emma every other weekend. Already looks lighter somehow, like the weight of fighting his mother was literally crushing him, and now that he's given up, he can breathe again. I hate him for that, for choosing the easy path, for letting her win. But late at night, when I can't sleep, I understand it a bit. I mean, the constant anxiety, the hypervigilance, never knowing when she'll just appear. We live like fugitives in our lives. Maybe he's right. Maybe she does win either way. Either way, we live in fear forever, or we let her destroy what we've built. Marcus texted me yesterday, I'm going to therapy. Real therapy this time. Maybe someday I'll be strong enough to try again. But not now. I'm sorry, honey. You deserve better than what I can give you right now. I wanted to throw my phone across the room. 17 years and I deserve a text message apology? But then I looked at our wedding photo on the mantle. Gosh, we look so happy and young and stupid, and I just felt empty. That couple in the photo, they're already gone. They've been for years. We've just been grieving that life that we used to have. Edit. Since some of you asked, yes, Diana knows about the divorce. Marcus has not reached out to her, but somehow, shocking, I know, she found out. I've gotten 3 emails this week about how she's praying for our reconciliation and how she's forgiving me for trying to keep her son away from her. I forwarded them to my lawyer. What I've learned from this, or maybe wisdom I pay too much for, I like to say. Number 1, when someone shows you who they are, believe them. All those little comments early on, those are not jokes or generational differences, it's a red flag. Number 2, love is not enough. I love Marcus to the moon and back with everything I had, and he loved me too. But he loved his mother's approval much, much more. Or maybe he just feared her disapproval more than he loved anything else. Number 3, you can't have someone from their own family. I thought if I was patient enough, supportive enough, loving enough, I could help him break free. But freedom has to be chosen, and he chose captivity. Number 4, enmeshment is abuse. See, I didn't even know that word 5 years ago. Now I could write a whole dissertation on it. The way Diana made Marcus responsible for her emotions from childhood. The way that she trained him to prioritize her feelings over everything else. It's abuse. Full stop. The body keeps the score. Number 5, I've had chronic migraines for 3 years now. Guess when they started? Right after that birthday ambush where Diana coerced me into the corner of the bathroom to tell me I was ruining her son's life. My body knew we were under attack even when my mind was still making excuses. See, I keep thinking about this moment for 2 years ago. Emma had just started taking in full sentences, and we were at the park, and she pointed at a butterfly and said, "Pretty mama, like you." Just out of nowhere, this perfect, pure moment. And my first thought was not to cherish it. It was, thank God Diana wasn't here to ruin it. That's what she took from us, not just our marriage, but the ability to exist in joy without looking over our shoulder. The simple pleasure of a butterfly compliment from my daughter without the shadow of his mother's judgment. And with that, I'm moving forward. Or, you should probably ask me next, how the hell do I do that? I don't really know how to do it. How to explain to Emma why Daddy lives somewhere else now and he can't come to her kindergarten celebration. How to untangle 17 years of shared everything. How to stop being angry, how to stop being sad, and overall how to just stop. The house, it feels wrong. Too quiet, but also too loud. Every sound makes me think someone's at the door, and I've kept Pilot. Of course Diana thought that we should get rid of him when the baby came. And he still sleeps on Marcus's side of the bed, and I can't bring myself to move him. My friends, they're trying. I do have friends, you know. They bring me wine, they bring me ice cream, offering to set me up when I'm ready. Well, I'm not ready, okay? I don't want to date another man. Reminding me that I'm strong and brave and better off without him. But I don't feel strong. I just feel like I've been gutted, like Diana reached into our life and pulled out all the stuffing, and now we're just empty skins pretending to be people. My therapist says this is normal, that trauma bonds are hard to break, that I'm grieving not just my marriage, but the family I thought I married into, the future I thought we had, and the safety that I thought we built. She says it gets better. Does it, though? For those of you who've been with me since the first post, does it actually get better? Or do you just get better at carrying it? Because right now I can barely carry myself to the shower most days. And I just keep having this illicit dream where we never told his parents we were dating. We were just keeping it a secret forever. We ran away and got married in Vegas with strangers as a witness and had Emma without them even knowing and lived this whole parallel life where Diana couldn't touch us because she didn't know there was us to destroy. And then I wake up in a cold sweat and she's still winning somewhere and I'm still alone and Marcus is gone. And I have to figure out how to do this as a single parent while working full-time and keeping my crap together enough that Emma does not internalize all this dysfunction. But the worst part, sometimes I catch myself wondering if Diana was right, if I was too career-focused, if I should have just tried harder to make her like me, if I should have been more, I don't know. Whatever the hell she wanted me to be, less myself, I guess. But then I look at my baby girl, Emma, stubborn, fierce, perfectly herself at 4 years old, and I think no, I won't let Diana's poison touch another generation, even if it costs me my marriage. Hell, even if it costs me my life, even if it costs me Marcus. Emma will grow up knowing she's enough exactly as she is, who she is, that love does not require shrinking yourself to fit someone else's expectations, that family is not just supposed to be a cage. To those of you in the fog of a toxic in-law, get out. Get out now. Don't wait 17 years like me, and do not have kids thinking it'll get better. Don't move cities thinking distance will help. Just get out. Because people like Diana don't stop. They don't get better. They don't suddenly develop empathy or respect boundaries. They just take and take and take until there's nothing left to take. And to those of you whose partner chose their toxic parents over you, yeah, I see you. I feel you. Oh, mama's boy. This crap is brutal, but we'll survive it. We have to. Even if survival looks like crying in the shower and eating cereal for dinner and letting the laundry pile up for weeks because who needs clean clothes? Even if it looks like you're barely functioning, we'll survive. Because we're not Diana, we're not Robert, we're not people who destroy love for a sport, and that has to count for something. Even if it doesn't feel like nearly enough right now. Edit. It's 6:47 in the morning, and I managed to get 2 hours of sleep. I woke up to 47 comments and a bunch of direct messages. I want to say thank you. I won't be posting again. I didn't expect anyone to read this novel of dysfunction, but knowing I'm not alone, that others have survived this, it helps. To those asking about Emma, she's okay. Confused but okay, and keeps asking when Daddy's coming home, and I don't know what to tell her. She actually starts kindergarten in 6 months. Also to the person who DM'd me that I should reach out to Diana to broker peace for Emma's sake, respectfully, how do I say this? Go to hell. That woman has caused enough damage. She doesn't get access to my daughter. Not now, not ever. Going to try to respond to some comments later, though. Right now, I need a coffee, and to pretend I'm just a functional adult for my kid's sake. Thank you again, really. This community might have just saved my sanity.